And Brando, you've been to Maui, as I have, countless times, and it does have, as they say, it has mana, power, a certain soul. What's been your experience all these years on Maui?
I think it's probably the favorite place that my wife and I travel to. All the islands, we love them, but in particular, we love Maui. I don't think any of us will ever talk about the island of Maui, hear it mentioned, without thinking about the devastating wildfires there in 2023. You know, the mind-numbing, gut-wrenching loss of life, loss of homes, loss of jobs, loss of cultural sites, left a painful and profound scar, literally and metaphorically, on everybody affected in the Hawaiian Islands, but everybody even remotely connected to the Hawaiian Islands, which is certainly the golf world. But thanks to the likes of Mark Rolfing, Sentry, all the players there, and everybody who's pitching in, I think we're all tied into the recovery process, long and painful as it'll be.
It was about a year and a half ago, several wildfires spreading across Hawaii, predominantly on Maui. 102 confirmed fatalities. It was the deadliest wildfire in over a century in the United States. Thousands of structures damaged or destroyed. Estimated $5.5 billion in damages. 10 miles south of Kapalua, the town of Lahaina was devastated. Upcountry, too, including Kula, about 25 miles from Kapalua. Maui County Mayor Richard Bisson said the recovery plan is more than just a roadmap forward. It embodies the community's shared vision for the future. Lahaina, as you may well know, a popular tourist spot, but its residents were mostly natives of Hawaii. A number of important historical and cultural sites were lost, as well as locally owned restaurants and businesses. So many of the residents there are working class Hawaiians. Opening ceremony today at Kapalua. Eho o maka o ana, a new beginning. Be mindful of the Hawaiian proverb, live your life while the sun is still shining. And to Brando's point, one more, Malama Maui, take care of Maui. And our next guest has been doing just that for a long, long time. We are joined by our own Mark Rolfing, synonymous with golf in Hawaii for more than 50 years. This year celebrating 40 years as a golf broadcaster. Rolf, Happy New Year to you and Debbie and the family, and thank you for taking the time. I'll start with this. What's your sense of the mood on Maui and the path forward as we turn the page to 2025?
Well, I will tell you this, Rich. The mood on Maui is definitely way, way, way better than it was a year ago. A year ago when I was standing here, we were only 4 months clear of the devastating wildfires. It's now been 16 months, and the recovery is still in its, beginning stages. There's no question about it. But it's going to take time, and it takes time for a number of different reasons. I will tell you, what I learned in this past year more than anything is that you have to learn how to heal. Healing is not a process that comes naturally, necessarily, for anybody. And I've really learned how important it is to know how to heal. And these people have been through a lot in this community. And I think the healing process is well on its way now. So because of that, we've been able to do a lot of work. Lahaina is almost totally cleared and cleaned up now. We're starting to see signs of building again in the town. I actually went to our church, which pretty much was saved during the fire, but it had had enough damage that they had to do a little bit of work. But we had a church service 2 weeks ago down there that was just remarkable, right in the center of town. And I am feeling good about what is going on here. We are still a long way away. Sorry about that. We're still a long way away, but all in all, I think things are so much better right now than they were a year ago.
You can see those are tricky winds. And Rolf, thankfully, you're still light on your feet. Curious, Rolf, best as you know, how will Lahaina be rebuilt?
The interesting thing about the rebuild of Lahaina is that we lost 23 cultural sites in that area. Lahaina was the capital of Hawaii, the kingdom of Hawaii. And there were so many places, whether it was the capital itself or the Seamen's Hospital or the Pioneer Inn, the harbor, just churches and missions and things like that. And they were spread all over town. So it's not like you can just go and put all the new restaurants there, and we're going to put all these historic sites back together all in one area. You can't do that. You have to rebuild them where they were and make them as much what they were as you possibly can. And so that is going to take some time. There's got to be tremendous infrastructure work done there on both the roads, and the power grid, which is probably pretty much going to go underground now, hopefully. We have to create some evacuation routes out of Lahaina. Look, this fire that happened in 2023 was not a huge surprise to me. We had one in 2018 that created some problems, not the devastation that we saw in 2023, but there's only two ways out of Lahaina, one on the south end and one on the north end, and that's got to change. So there's a lot of work to be done. It's going to cost a lot of money. It takes a lot of planning, but we are well on the way now.
Rolf, what's your message to those, and I think there are plenty in our audience for whom Hawaii has always been a bucket list trip?
My message, Rich, is please come visit us again. We could really use the business. Actually, tourism is no better now than it was a year ago, which is pretty sad. I think a bunch of the big groups have had to cancel. I sort of understand that. But for the free and independent traveler that can make the choice to come to Maui, please do it. It is so, so important to the economy here and to the people. We are totally open for business. You will find the island just as welcoming as it ever was. And that needs to start pretty quickly because that industry, the tourism industry, is so vital to this part of the island, and we need to crank it back up again.
Rolf, Max Homa gave a clinic on the island for some juniors. What struck you as you watched?
Well, the first thing that struck me was when he showed up with no logo. It was quite an outfit. But we actually have moved the first T headquarters of Hawaii to Kapalua, believe it or not, just right outside of Lahaina. It is going to be absolutely incredible. We had a tremendous turnout on Monday, kids from all over the island, and we made the announcement that we're going to start a whole new series of First Tee programs here at Kapalua, and they are going to be absolutely free, no charge at all to any of these kids. So Monday was a big kickoff for that and a great success. Max was phenomenal.
Love it, Rolf. Lastly, trades or Konas this week?
Both. Believe it or not, both. It's trades today, but I think there'll be some Konas by Sunday.
You hear that voice, one of the most distinctive in our game. It's time to get going on Hawaii, on Maui. Rolf, thank you so much. Wishing you, Debbie, and everybody on the island nothing but the best.